the man. You gotta beat the man. And I'm saying, woo! You're talking to the Rolex wearing, diamond ring wearing, wheeling dealing, limousine riding, jet flying, son of a gun. And I'm having a hard time holding these alligators down. Woo! Styling and profiling. Woo! Showtime.
Welcome to Defend the Hustle. Buffalo always keeps it a buck.
I can guarantee you most of the audience is gonna agree with me before they agree with you.
Lock in, because Buffalo is about to
crack your cranium and fertilize your brain.
Go ahead and
right here, right now.
You go ahead.
subscribe and share now.
What'd I do? Hey, kick y'all off the screen, man. Hey, welcome everyone to another episode of Defend the Hustle. Tonight, our special guest is Jim the Tech. He's gonna be all about the IT side of reselling and what's going on in the real world with IT. So we're gonna look forward to hearing him out. He basically been on the show. I think this is your fourth time now, Jim.
Yeah, that's fourth time.
Yeah, so we definitely going to be leaning on him for all his expertise when it comes to information technology. Middleman, go ahead and introduce yourself, and we're going to get this show on the road.
I am the Middleman Picker, part-time reseller, full-time truck driver. I sell on Amazon, Walmart, eBay, and again, sometimes Whatnot. I had a Whatnot show today. Welcome out, everybody.
Man, you didn't tell me why you didn't hit me up,
Bro, you busy, man.
Bro, you still could have hit me
up. Sunday.
You still could have hit me up. I could have came there and support the show and ran up some things for you. So let me give a shout out to the chat, and we're going to get into what we accomplished, and then we're going to turn the floor over to Jim to let him educate us on the information technology and what's going on with AI. Shout out to All in One Package. Everyone know that's Miss Buffalo. Thank you for all that you do for the show. Florida Girl Picker. Everybody know that is the middleman better half. Thank you for coming out 10 years supporting the show. Shout out to Bill Bixby. What's going on, Bill? Incredible Hulk is in the house. Shout out to Gulf Coast Picker. What's going on, bro? Appreciate you coming out, man. Shout out to Samurai. Samurai was I think I shipped your package off on Thursday. Been a busy week, but it's on the way. So that was the Five Nights of Freddy Cup. It should be probably at your location by Tuesday. My apology for the delay, but I've been super busy this week. I think I got everybody. So, Middleman, what you accomplished this week? Hold on, before you do that, these are the giveaways for the night. I have a Thor, Love and Thunder, the Mighty Thor. This is the female, though, with a Build-A-Figure. New in the box. This is one of the items. And the other item I'm going to do is a Squishmallow. I got drilled by Gulf Coast so much I had to figure out how to say this properly. But this is what I'm giving away tonight. This is a Harry Potter new with tag. And if you like stuff like this, I'm going to be doing a lot of these new with tags on my Whatnot on Sunday. I'm doing a special pre-Black Friday sale next Sunday. That's going to be our last show for the year. We had a few people that was hitting us up, asking us if we're going to do one more show, even though we said we wasn't. But yeah, I thought about it for a minute. I was like, yeah, I got enough stuff. I can come back and do one more for the year. So if you want this type of stuff, I got the mediums and I got the bigs and I got this 10-inch size. It's the type of stuff I'm going to be doing along with Funko Pops, a bunch of action figures. I went through my containers and pulled out a bunch of action figures that I'm going to run through because I just don't have time to process them through Amazon and Walmart. So I'm going to run a bunch of action figures. I'm going to run some video games. And also I did a buyout from another reseller this weekend. And he had a bunch of stuff. Actually went up on Friday and bought him out, and he had a lot of stuff. So some of that stuff I may run in that sale as well. But yeah, that's pretty much all I'm show you the giveaway. So middleman, you go ahead and talk about what you accomplished this week, and then I'll talk about that big sale I did and other things that I did on the resale side.
Well, first run, you got to run the Buffaloes. Ella just came in with super chat.
Oh, okay. Ella. Thank you, Ella, so much. Thank you for your support. All right, here you go, Ella.
Super chat received.
All right, thank you, Ella. All right, so middleman, go ahead and kick it off, and then I'll follow behind you.
I was able to get off 2 loads, one to Amazon, one to eBay, one to Amazon and one to Walmart, and do a little shopping. Like I said earlier, I did a whatnot show today. I couldn't do it yesterday. I just couldn't do it yesterday. I know I kept saying I'm pushing it. It almost wasn't going to happen today, but I said, I can't keep pushing it back,
Right.
and I did it. It's whatnot is whatnot. I don't have $2 starts, and some of my stuff, I had them at reasonable price. Some of the things was at reasonable price,
Right.
but I can't just give my stuff away to people,
Yeah.
But I was cool with it because I was on the fence of if I wanted to do one or if I didn't want to do it, because those items that I had on there, I could sell them on Amazon and Walmart. So, I said maybe I give them a shot to buy it for discounted price because, like I know, once I put it on Amazon and Walmart, the price go higher than what I be selling on whatnot.
Right.
So I said, yeah, I'll do that. I don't have to stress about moving inventory on there because I can move it on other platforms. Around this time of the year, move faster. So.
Exactly.
So I was like, man, I'll be cool if I sell something. Fine. If I don't, fine. And that's how I went at it when I started the show this afternoon. But other than that, yeah, I'm looking forward to doing another shipment to Amazon.
Right.
Like I told you, in the middle of the week, I'm putting a halt to Walmart shipments right now because Walmart is starting to arrow out a lot of the toys that I'm sending in. So I have to come up with different inventory. I got other stuff that I can send in there, but the toys are going to be at a halt, and everything's going to Amazon and dealing with toys.
Okay.
Even Amazon's doing, Amazon as well is getting rid of certain listings. Because if you look on there, you'll see that they're starting to deactivate some listings.
Yeah.
They're taking completely off their platform, and they asking for that child safety compliance that they keep pushing to everyone.
Yeah, this week right here, I should have time to find that information I told you that I had came across, and I try to put a little couple hours into it so we can get that to see if it'll work for us.
Yeah, because I reached out to some of the not distributors, the manufacturers.
Yeah,
I sent them messages, and they pretty much told me that I had to have an account with them or account with a distributor in order for them. But they guarantee that them items has been safety approved and all that.
Yeah, that's kind of contradictory to what I had saw. So once I get it together, man, we'll see if we can tag team it and come up with a solution.
Okay. Yeah,
Yeah.
but other than that, man, just trying to rush this stuff out because the fourth quarter is here and Black Friday is right around the corner. It's the
Yeah.
first of November. If you ain't pushing that stuff out now, I don't know what you're doing. That stuff got to get in there. Those items got to get in there. Got to get online. Because even though we going through this problem in this economy, people are still buying.
Yeah. Yeah.
Not everybody is not fortunate. I feel
Yeah.
sorry for those who are, and I don't think anybody is safe anyway. Any especially the people still working for someone. None of us are safe at the job anyway, because their doors could close um, instantly. You
Yeah.
know, you
Yeah.
can go to work today, and they close the doors tomorrow. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, that's all I've been doing. I'm been trying to get as much in there as possible. Um, hopefully they don't cancel the holidays.
Yeah. You
Well, they
see it. You seeing it now, right?
yeah, I'm
Yeah.
starting to see it.
Yeah, man. Yeah, they putting it out there, bro. They
But
putting
yeah,
it
but
out
that's about it. I'm just trying to make sure I get as much of stuff in as possible.
there. Right. Yeah. Yeah. That's the goal. Um, that's what I was gonna say too. The category that they airing you out. You said it was basically like the kid toys, the top
Yep.
type toys. So you know,
Yep.
still keep it going, but just try to ship stuff that is not in that range. Because
Yeah.
I got one error from them, uh, but it was on a item before I shipped it. It was published once I put it into the my catalog, but once I
Hmm.
tried to transfer it over to my shipping plan, that's when they went and made it an error. So and I don't know why they wouldn't do that on your end before you even take time out to ship that stuff in.
Right.
We're going to give a shout out to Cheryl. Thank you for coming out. Justin and Marie, thank you all for coming out supporting the channel. Justin, I'm not sure if you got your package yet because you all are so far away from me, but let me know if you received that yet because it's been shipped. Um, let's see. Let's see, Marie. Oh, she said Justin got furloughed for at least 3 weeks. Yeah.
Yeah. My good friends.
Is he a contractor or something? She said he don't work. He doesn't work for the government. So, um, yeah, I mean, it's crazy. It's crazy. I still keep in touch with the with my coworkers from the federal government, and I mean they pretty much got those guys working on a skeleton crew. A lot of folks are sitting at home not knowing when they're going to get a paycheck or anything. So
Hmm.
it's a lot of craziness going on. And from what they're telling me is that they pretty much the people that they furloughed from the federal government, they trying to get them to resign while they being furloughed. So I'm like, man, what kind of? But anyway, I'm not gonna get into politics, man. I try to stay away from politics on this show. But yeah, that's crazy. So he working lumber, yeah. Okay,
Yeah.
yeah, that's crazy.
And then one of my good friends, he furloughed. They told him he probably won't come back to work to the beginning of next year now.
Yeah, I mean that's you gotta think about it, man. Uh, people set their bills up based off of their salary, and it doesn't matter what's your grade in the federal government. I had people that outranked me by 3 grades, and they just wasn't good money managers. They was good at managing people at work, but
Mm.
for as managing their money, they wasn't good at that. So they was living paycheck to paycheck, but they were making 150 plus $1,000. And I just heard of a situation with one of my coworkers that that's unfortunate, but some of these people I mean, if they are kept out that long, it's a possibility that they could lose their property.
Mhm.
Because where you get money for to pay your bills?
Yeah.
That banking company gonna want their money. Which is I just don't get it, man. I mean, I just heard that last night or the night before the bank got another bailout. And it kind of went on the radar. If you don't pay attention to the news, you wouldn't even know it. So what are they doing getting a bailout? You got people out here losing their jobs and stuff, and you hey man, I can go days on that. Let me just talk about what our companies this week, man. Let's get off that because I'll get into my feelings talking about that, man. And I don't want to disclose that stuff on here. It's unfortunate that people are out here struggling, and it's like you try to figure out who the enemy. Is the American citizens the enemy? Or who is the enemy? I mean, come on. Um, so what I accomplished this week, as I mentioned earlier, I had a buyout from one of the resellers. Uh, and I'm not I'm not gonna mention his name. If he's in the chat and he want me to mention his name, just let me know. I will. But did a big buyout with him on Friday, and I mean he had a lot of good stuff. I took my son with me, and within probably 30 minutes, my son was overwhelmed with all the stuff we had to pack up and get back down here to the warehouse. So, but yeah, that was a big buy. I spent, money with that one, which was well spent because he did give me a great deal, but I couldn't consciously leave with that price, so I gave him more than what he was asking for his items. Also, I did a buy at Walmart yesterday. Got some good stuff. A couple things that I picked up. I'm going to show you all on the show and tell tonight. Also, I had one Walmart shipment to go out. I have a Amazon prep and another Walmart shipment prep that I'm going to ship out the Walmart tomorrow, and the Amazon is going to go out on Tuesday, and then I'm just going to repeat. So that's where I'm at with the business in the warehouse right now. If you follow me on social media, you can see like some of the videos I put out there. I don't try to put out a whole lot right now, but some of the videos showing you that, my prepping, packing, shipping, and then repeat. That's what I'm doing in the warehouse right now. What's going on, Callie? Thank you for coming out. Um, so that cycle is continued all the way up past Black Friday, and that's what I'm doing. And Middleman also talked about a topic that we discussed twice on this show about the fact that people are starting to get steam behind the Black Friday, basically canceling Black Friday and Cyber Monday. So I don't know how they're going to pan out, for the resellers, but we're going to kind of transition over to Jim the Tech. Jim is our special guest here tonight. Jim is a information technology business owner, and we are definitely blessed to have him on the show. Every chance that we can get him on here, Jim come with a lot of information. So we just gonna turn it over to him and pretty much let him school us on what's going on in the real world with information technology and basically what's going on in the climate right now as far as a lot of people, losing their positions at these different companies. So, Jim, gonna turn the floor over to you. It's all yours.
Well, appreciate it, Buffalo Picker, for having me on your show again. It's been a while, and last time I was here, I think this was right before I did the radio thing early this summer. I've been asked to come back on AM talking about some of the same stuff.
Right.
Tonight I think it's so important for y'all guys to notice because a lot of the stuff I'm probably going to put out, I'm not sure if you know about, but it's very important. But the first thing we're going to talk about is the Windows 10. You know, back here October 14th, Microsoft has stopped doing the updates for it, but they also gave us for the first time opportunity for computers that are eligible to enroll. So where you get extended another year, which is great. So if your computer is eligible, you can do that. And how you do that is you go to your Windows, go to your settings, go to Windows Update. In that little window, you should see something that says Enroll. You click on it. It's going to probably ask you for your email and password for your Microsoft account that you set up with the computer. And then if you already got it in there, it's not going to ask you. But just follow the prompts, and that take care of that at least for another year. So the other thing I want to let people know is a great thing to extend it, but also to keep in the back of your mind the price of new computers. If you find a good price on one now, it might not be a bad thought to get it now instead of waiting another year or extending it. Because the
Mhm.
thing is that the cost now could be a lot cheaper later. With all that's going on right now. So you want to make sure you do that if you can. So once again, you go to your settings in your computer if you got Windows 10, and then you go to Windows Update. And once you're there, look off on your left and just read just a few clicks down. You should be seeing something that says enroll, and just click on it and just follow the prompts. So that actually should get you.
Hold on, Jim. You said go to settings and then
So go
Windows
to
10,
settings. Yep, Windows 10, and
and
then
then
you should
what?
you should see something there in blue that says enroll. It's off to the left.
Okay.
Yeah, when you click on it, just basically follow the prompts.
All right. Okay.
Yeah, so at least they give you another year, which is a good thing. Because a lot of people, depends on how their wallet is, really didn't have or don't have the money to spend $300 or $400 or more in a computer. At least they get them another year, get a little breather time. But once that year's up, I'm not sure if they're going to extend it again. Because this is the first time they allowed everybody to do this. They always done it with businesses. Giving them 3 years, they know I think it's $200 per unit or something like that. They've been doing that for years with companies. But
Right.
this is the first time they ever done it with everybody, which I think is a cool thing they done. So they done it last minute though, which a lot of people went out and bought computers prior to that. Which is great still, but I think they should have done it earlier and letting people know. But it's still working out, I think, for people that can't really afford it with right now, or either don't want to buy it. So, but also too, one of the things you want to wind up doing once you in there, go to advanced settings, and there are three things you want to make sure that you do. There are two. They got a total of six things that you got to click on. Well, not click on, but the first two you want to click those on, and the fourth one to click on because that allows the computer to do the automatic updates quicker. Because as soon as they come out, they actually pop up on you and install it and all that good stuff. And it's a good thing to do those things for security. So you
Okay.
definitely want to do that. So,
So you
um,
basically just clicking them on is
yeah,
what you.
on because they're always
Oh,
off. So you just click them
okay.
on. So
Okay.
yeah, so yeah,
All right.
and so yeah, you do that, you should be good. So, but there's some other security things that we can go into, but right now I want to get into the whole AI thing because I don't know if anybody's been watched the news or all that stuff that's going on this week. Amazon has made an announcement along with Microsoft and Starbucks, UPS, and a list of other companies. They're cutting back and they're fine tuning everything using AI. And this, I would tell anyone this, regardless if you're looking for a job or you own a job for the last 10 years. I don't think in this climate with AI, nobody's job is safe. And reasons why for that is this. I'm going to go through a few little details of things that probably people don't even realize that they're putting stuff up on their uh, Facebook accounts and Twitter and what have you. The best way to look at it this way, I tell guys, you probably want to watch what you say that you put out there on Facebook that maybe you didn't like. For ladies, if you're not keeping your clothes on, you need to keep them on because the thing of it is, all this is going to possibly have a huge impact on your future as for getting a job. And let me explain all this in detail. So let's say I'm going out there looking for a job, um, and not realizing that they're using AI to interview me. So let's say Buffalo Picker has a company that he's hiring people, and he using his AI tool. And let's say I didn't gave a I sent him his company my resume, and the AI tool, what it does is looks through the resume, but it also looks through all your social media accounts, and that's major. because then the AI tool, then the interviewer gets a certain amount of questions to ask the interviewee. And based on what it finds in your social media post and also your resume, that person going to ask you those questions. So, prime example, let's say they ask you a question about security. How do you feel about your privacy in reference to security? What do you think about it? And let's say, well, I care about my privacy. I always want to keep my stuff safe and what have you. But at the same time, you one of those people that got your clothes off half the time when you're up on Facebook. Think about that. And is this going to be cases where there's not individuals grading this? It's all AI driven. So the thing of it is, looking at the whole big picture now, there are so many tools that have been being created through AI, and there's some that's still on the block to be put in play now. So I'm telling everyone, you just got to make sure that you pull that stuff back, because even if you have a job, you've been at a company for 10 years, they're also using AI to look at your work habits and all that stuff, how productive you are. And they say, well, you need to cut you back or cut 5 people um, out of your area. They will. Prime example, I think it was, I'm trying to think of the company, had AI go through the HR, and they cut half of the HR personnel. So some of those people that's been there for like 10 and 12 years, it doesn't matter how long you're there now. So it's a whole different thing. I think on the last show I did tell everyone, I said, well, regardless if you like it or not, it's here. And just in the last time since I was here, a lot of changes has happened. So when you think about that, when being interviewed on that level, saying that you in a camera have no clue what's going on behind the scenes, and in some ways is also looking at videos you might have posted of yourself, and some of the comments you made. Once again, I just said that, but also to a point, it give a snippet of you telling the truth in a sense in the interview with the question that's being asked. You
Wow.
know, it is that deep now, because we're not talking about human beings. It's a whole
Yeah.
different level now. You know, and
So
don't
you
be
saying
surprised.
so you saying AI can look through the camera, through the
Well, look at
program,
yeah,
and determine whether or not you lying by
in
your
a
body
sense,
language or
in
what?
a way, based on what it find in your Facebook chats and what you done spoke on, and also in your resume. And let's say it asks you about your job, your previous job, and what you've done. It's all about body language. Just let me back up here. Um, in the past, people that's in the FBI and what have you, they have a certain technique they use
Yeah.
to see if somebody's lying or not. That's a human being doing that. You follow me? Certain
Right,
techniques to use. Now we're talking not a human being now. It's
Yeah.
not so easy to be AI compared to try to being a human being.
right.
It's a whole different animal. So you probably wonder why they didn't give you a call. You say you done all these interviews, and man, ain't nobody calling back. And then for the company that's calling you in, they have a questionnaire waiting on you, really. They asking you all these questions only because AI seeing certain things in your post and your resume is asking you specific questions on that, you know? So it's a whole different animal now. So when you think about all these companies now trying to streamline their business, like I said, Best Buy's, the Geek Squad, they pretty much doing the same thing, which I'm glad, because I'm in the field. I'm glad they cut them all out. It works out for me in that sense. But the thing of it is, we got to start taking this a little bit more serious than we do. Because also right now, one of the things that's happening now in different cities, they're using robot dogs, AI robot dogs now, and also trying in Cobb County. I think they are for the first time. I think they're attempting to try to put in AI in their jails now. So this right here in our, within our area. So it's amazing what they're doing with AI now in reference to the job market for the people that got jobs. Just like I mentioned, with Amazon cutting back for over 14,000 jobs, Starbucks, Target, UPS. I mean, you can think of. I mean, it's just totally nuts as for how many is getting laid off right about now. And there are going to be some jobs that are being created from AI, but I will tell you that they're high end jobs in a sense where um, creators of AI are teaching people how to use it, that type of thing.
Right.
So it's not warehouses to a point now. They got robots in there, but now when you think AI is putting AI in that mix, it's going to even cut more jobs. So the thing of it is, I'm just telling anyone that may be comfortable in their job, you might want to rethink all you've done on your social media page. Because look at it this way, and some are using it this way. So let's say a company got 800 people in their business. Now, an individual can't go through 800 personal Facebook and Twitter pages, but AI can probably do it in a day, you know? So let's say the company's looking for a certain thing because they don't want to be liable for something negative that an employee of theirs done. So it's just looking through all that stuff. Some of the things that's been said, some of the things you've done, some of the feedback that's up on your post like last 5 years, and all of a sudden you get a call or they tell you to come in the office, and all of a sudden you're laid off. Don't really know why, but most likely it's probably because of that, you know? So think of it also before the AI thing. If you think about it, a lot of people have been watching the news the last 5 or 10 years. There are a lot of people that was on a lot of these newscasts that lost out on a job because of their post. So think of it now with AI in the mix. It's a whole different animal now, you know? So if you're one of those individuals that got some negative stuff that you put out there on your Facebook page or Twitter, what have you, you might want to go ahead and take that down, you know? Yeah, you might think you're cute and what have you, but it might cost you your job. It's not really worth it, in my opinion. And
Yeah.
some of us guys that might have said some things that we, so passionate about and might not be so right. AI don't care, you know. So you got to start thinking of another way as where you're doing all these posting or what have you, because at some point, all these AI devices and programs, you want to call them, are going to be connected at some point. So it's amazing how cities, countries are using this now. It's going to be to a point where you're not going to be able to hide from none of this. There's still some spots in that, but if you think about the last 2 years, they have really came a long way in that short period of time. The one thing I'm really looking forward to maybe seeing somebody create, which I think somebody will, because I always get questions about virus programs. I can't wait till somebody develop a AI software to really look into all these programs, gave all this claim to virus programs and how it works and what have you. And I don't think the companies that make these programs are not going to be too happy because it might point out some things that people have been wasting their money on. You know what I
Mm.
mean? So it's going to be quite interesting on that. I can't wait for that talk to start. I haven't seen anything yet, but I really can't wait for it to happen because it's going to happen. But it's going to shine the light on some of this stuff in reference to that part of it, where there are people spending tons of money on this stuff. And I want to leave you with one thing in mind on that subject. If you got T-Mobile and all these companies getting hacked and they spending millions of dollars, what makes you think a $50 or $100 program is going to keep you safe? Think on that for a second. You know, if your company's spending millions and can't keep their stuff safe, what makes you think? And then Windows has one already built in, which most
Right.
people don't know or think it's this scare tactic. People got so entwined this whole fear thing and say I got to spend $100 or 150 or $70 because this works better than this. Just understand that the FCC stepped in. I think it was November last year, might have been October, and they stepped in and said, "Hey, y'all guys got to fine tune this thing. You have to back it up because they got older people, elderly people buying stuff that really they didn't need." If you think about how the virus program you might have had installed in your computer, it was just that at first. Now they gotten 3, 4, even 5 add-ons now that add up to maybe $175 a year,
Mhm.
which is insane because some of it, if not none of it, really works. It's amazing. I go back to a situation with Avast, for example. Avast, I think, is still free. It was free back here years ago when I started using it. The craziest thing, I have gone into locations where they might have a Norton on it where they're paying $60 or what have you. And I put a free virus program in there. Now, the Norton didn't pick up nothing. But you put Avast on, it picks it up, and then all of a sudden you get a notification from Norton that's what it found. All of a sudden it found something after the free one found something. So I just tell people you just got to watch some of this stuff, especially now. And going back to the AI thing, it's so important that if you got stuff on your Facebook page, you got people follow you that maybe you don't need on your page, you need to start looking at that stuff and start taking it down. Because I can guarantee that maybe one of these people, one individual in this room might be one of those individuals that might wind up losing their job over it or have a hard time finding a job because of it. because of the craziest thing I've seen as for the interview thing, which I thought was totally nuts, but I understand the reasons for it. You know, it really does fine tune their business as for finding the right people for with the right mindset for the position they're trying to fulfill. So it
Right.
is unique. I mean, honestly, I got to give it to them because I didn't think about none of that stuff a year ago, what they're probably using it for. But we're just getting started. As for all the tools that's actually they just started working on. So it's pretty cool now to see cities. We talked about a little bit of this in one of your shows previously about about cities using robots. At the time, because AI wasn't the subject. I don't think at the time we talked about this, where I can see it taking up police jobs, and now with AI in the mix, now that's slowly happening. Now they got police dogs now, and what have you. They got these I call it 6 foot eggs I've seen doing security around the buildings, and I think right here in Atlanta, if I'm not mistaken, there is a they got a code K9 security on these some of these apartments now with AI built into it. So it's unique how they're using it. You know what I mean? Really. So it is nice as a technician to see how they're using it. It's quite interesting, but a lot of people don't have no clue the things they're doing, how it's going to impact it. Because the thing of it is also, this could maybe someday affect how you get a loan for a car or a house. You never know. Depends on
So,
what
so
tool.
you say when you say that AI, we can shout out to Jack's Treasure as well, and it was somebody else, Anita J. When you were saying AI may affect jobs for police officers, is that the same on the same end? Like it may affect like lawyers type jobs as
Yeah,
well.
and lawyers now. I had two lawyers basically had told me a situation where now lawyers using AI. You know, and it's quite interesting when you think about it. I don't know, a lot of you have used it, your AI tools, but honestly, you can just about ask it anything. If you give it all the details, it would basically give you everything you need to, in a sense, defend yourself. Now, I don't advise you to do that to a point. That's just me talking, but it's pretty unique as for how it's being used, and it's crazy that you can take something and ask it, every little detail to something, and it gives it to you. You remember the last time I was on the show, I talked about videos. You can go to the site, and you can write a movie of yourself and that type stuff. You remember? I
Right,
think
right,
now there's a company doing that. Now they about to connect with Ancestry. Now you just basically do a 5 minute tell of yourself. You want to call it that, and I think they're working out something now behind it. But to keep in mind, I say, I see that before that website came out. I also said that on the show prior to that one, of course. And now you can get some idea of how quickly AI is moving towards, moving in these industries now. And it's sad in a way, the jobs that it's creating, it's just not creating the jobs for, I love to call it, everyday people, if you want to call it that.
yeah,
Uh, from what I'm seeing is that it's people that, got high degrees, let's call it that. It's not for the, I hate to say this, but for the simple guy, you know what I mean? And that's kind of the thing that kind of bothers you to a point where what's the next 5 or 6 years are going to be? And with people making the mistakes they're making, like I say, with Facebook, Twitter, it's no telling what they're going to turn this into,
right.
because I willing to bet you nobody's even thinking about, if anybody had an interview in the last month and haven't got any callbacks. They probably have no clue why they didn't get no callback. It's because part of it's not just your resume, but a good part of it might be just a case what's on your Facebook page, you know. So I
Right.
mean, and even as a company, like I said, you got a company got 800 people that have AI to go through every person's Facebook and Twitter page to find out any little things that maybe they have a reason to get rid of them. The best way to say it. That's the best way to sum it up. They're going to use that. They're going to start using that now. Because one, it saves them money. They're trying to fine tune their business. And who's to say that some of the people that already got laid off, they didn't use that already? Think about it. You
Yeah,
know,
yeah,
who say they didn't use it? I mean, already to get rid of the people they got rid of. So I'm just telling everyone, it's not to scare anyone. This is just what's happening. And as long as you keep ignoring it, you didn't know, that's one thing. But if you know this, then you definitely got to make some changes. And sadly to say, we all on our Facebook page um, have people connected on our page. I don't personally know every person on my page, being honest. But that's one thing that I got to look back at. I never know
Yeah,
what the future might want to do, and that could affect
yeah,
me as well.
yeah.
You know,
You know,
and
it could be where your company hold you to guilty by association.
yep,
You know,
that's it. And so, and the bad thing is, especially with ladies, they put up stuff they shouldn't be in the first place, and now it's a whole different animal when your own company. Let's say you at this company for 12 years, and they run this AI software, and they look at your page, and they see some, something you shouldn't be doing in the first place. As for what you have on, they could hold that against you. They could
right?
say, okay, you know, we don't want that type of representation for our company, so get rid of it. You know what I mean? Or a statement a guy made, are done. So all these little things that in the past we had never had to think about, now we had to rethink all of this because it's
Mhm.
just that serious now. Because once again, you might be friends with the your boss that's over the department, but he's not calling the shots. And it's getting to a point where AI is really calling the shots.
Right.
As for what you find. So I just really in my I'm kind of like a little amazed where they use how they're using it, because when I start seeing some of this stuff, it's crazy because I got a couple customers that created um, job seeking job. They kind of what I want to call them. They help people find jobs. Is a word for it. I just can't think of it at the moment. But now seeing how their lives are changing and
What, like
seeing lawyers.
recruiters or something?
Yeah, there you go. So yeah, seeing how their thing changing, and like I said earlier, how lawyers are changing. So it's
Yeah.
amazing how it's affecting everybody. And so y'all can understand a lot of quite a few people are not too pleased with this, and I understand it, but it doesn't matter. You gonna have to find your niche in all of this.
Yeah,
Um,
it's like the fact that technology is moving so fast, the laws can't keep up with it.
yeah,
You know, because it used to be long as you didn't um, invite like your coworkers or your bosses into your social media,
right.
then they couldn't access it, right? They
Yep,
had to be your friend.
yep,
Now it's like they don't have to be your friends. They got a device that can go in and access your private page and pull down whatever they want. They prompt it to pull down,
yeah,
and then they can use it against you to let you go from that job. And there
yeah,
ain't nothing you can do about it because you can't prove, why they let you go.
yeah. And it's just
You
that
know,
serious. And
yeah,
So those staffing agencies are starting to get stricter then.
well, yeah, they're gonna. Well, the thing is, if they don't, they ain't gonna be around.
Yeah.
Yeah,
yeah,
it's gonna get and this probably be years from now. I'm not too sure we're gonna have recruiters around too much longer. You know what I mean? If you got AI running the systems, got
right,
AI doing everything.
right.
So I can see us at some point. I can see them losing a job. Just like
Yeah,
when you think about
in the speak of that, Jim, like you said, nobody job is safe. I could actually see them using that same technique to screen whether or not they want that third party reseller selling on their platform.
Oh, speaking of that, matter of fact, a lot of them looking at now AI is going through a lot of these platforms now. As for sellers, yeah, they might have been on the platform for 10 years, but now what volume you've been selling, and now because now you're just basically taking up server space. So now eventually some of those are gonna be dropping off. You know, you
So,
know, you
so
know.
if you are substandard seller, they're gonna weed you out,
Yeah,
basically.
because think about it, you just taking up server space. You ain't really making no money. So I mean, really, what's the
Yeah,
point of
They like
keeping
they
you?
already doing that.
Yeah.
yeah,
They might be already doing it. Who knows? As for
Yeah.
using AI to do it, when you think about it,
Yeah.
So I mean, it's just that wild as for how this whole thing is
yeah,
going.
And
And
why I say that because when my volume picked back up, that's when they started. Amazon started approving me or auto or giving me
engagement.
some
Yeah,
wow,
items.
wow.
yeah,
And
Yeah.
and now when you think about TVs and all this stuff, now they are working on some of these devices are basically fixing itself, not to help with AI now. So it's amazing that a lot of us technicians probably won't be around much. You know, I'm at the end anyway, so it ain't gonna matter in my case. But for a lot of the younger ones, you know, they might not have the luxury I had for all the 20 years I've been doing this. Plus, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So you know, it's a game changer because it's coming down to the point where either you're the one person that's training the people how to use it, or you the people that's the person that's repairing it. You're
Yeah.
going it's getting down to that. I
Yeah, it's
remember.
like my son, he's going to school for information technology, more on the cybersecurity side. But I had to have a conversation with him to let him know that look, we need to refocus that, and we want you to start trying to concentrate more on the programming side.
Yeah, there you go.
That way you on the front end and not the back end.
Yep.
Because the people that on the back end that dealing with the infrastructure and stuff like that, those are the people that are gonna be getting replaced.
Yep, and it's always a beautiful thing to know more than one thing. And luckily, in my case, I have done quite a few things in the last 20 years. You know what I mean? From deep, from dishwashers, you name it, TVs, whatever, But I always been even a little bit of programming and website building, marketing. Always kept my hand in a little bit of everything just in case it was needed when the area goes, gets really slow. I know how to do something else. And so, especially that's definitely a great thing, especially in this era, because it's going to be quite interesting how this goes forward. Because if you got AI running your security, as for your threats and what have you, why you gonna need people around? You know what I mean? And
So is
so
that
it's
true?
huh?
Is that true? AI
What you mean?
can't read cursive writing?
I'm not sure about that. At least if it could be so, but that's probably going to change. But then again, when you think about cursive writing,
They
they're,
don't
they're
teach it.
teen, they don't need their teenagers don't know how to write in cursive.
Yeah,
Cursive.
they
They
Yeah,
don't
don't
that's
teach
know.
what
it
he's
anymore.
saying. That's why they stopped. He's saying that in the chat. Said that AI can't read cursive writing, which is why the schools aren't teaching it.
Well, the school stopped teaching it before AI.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
remember. I
Yeah.
remember when we switched our son in the third grade to a different private school, and he was more advanced than the third grade kids in that private school because the school we had him going to before, they was trying to teach the kids like two levels ahead. So when he got there writing in cursor, he came home one day. He's like, "Dad, they told me I can't write in cursor no more, man." Me,
Wow.
me and his mama went over to that school, man. I'm talking about. I went, military, sturdy, chest up, head raised high. Like, if y'all ain't gonna let my son write in cursing, you're gonna try to hold him back so the other kids can catch up. We need a refund. We're gonna pull him out of this school. That principal, like, don't worry about it, sir. We're gonna take care of that. Matter of fact, you and I, let's go down here and see the teacher right now. But she fixed that quick, bro. Like,
Okay.
no, you ain't
It's,
holding my
it's,
son back.
it's crazy, and the question is how it's truly going to affect our kids in the future heavily with this AI. It's going to be quite interesting how many of our kids ask for their jobs. Maybe what they're going to college now for, will it be around another 15 years to do? You know, those are things you got to think about now as for you putting having your kid going to certain colleges and what have you and what they're doing. I mean, I
Right.
look back as I think it was December of this past year. There are two Harvard students took a weekend. They made a software and they put in an Apple tablet where they could take a snapshot of an individual and pull up every piece of information that's public about an individual in 30 seconds. Think about that for a second. So,
Wow.
yeah, that's pretty unique when you think about it. They can take a snapshot and in 30 seconds to pull everything up. So, when you think about the AI situation, I said this on one of your shows is that we have put so much stuff, our personal information out on the computer the last 20 years.
Yeah.
And we if we look at it, if we had an opportunity to look into the future before we started doing that, there's a lot of us that wouldn't have done some of the things we put up about ourselves out there in the universe, the best way to say it, where you can't get it back.
Right.
And now it could be easily found by AI now. Something that you said a post or what have you 15 years ago. You never know. And so it's kind of it's interesting, but it's kind of a little scary when you think about one of the things I said earlier in one of your shows that at some point when you know, like I said, we all get scam calls. You say hello. At some point, you got somebody using AI on the other end to record your voice. You know, now Wells Fargo and a lot of other banks and what have you use your voice as your password. So now somebody can use that to try to figure out what bank you with. You know, let's say you're in the Atlanta area, you've been living there, so they're going to assume that you live in your bank is in the Atlanta area. You know, so if your bank has that, that's something they can possibly use for it. Now, as for what they can do with it, I really don't know past that. But think about it for a second. You know, so in
Yeah,
my case,
I have heard a couple cases where people been reporting that they would get a call from somebody that it sounds like their son or sister or cousin or whatever, and they had enough sense to know that, hey, let me just call that number, the number that I know, and figure out if that's them on the other end of the phone. You
yeah.
know, but some people not gonna think that clearly. They're gonna be thinking, okay, it's an emergency. They say they need $100. Let me send them $100, and then you find out later on that wasn't even the person, even though the voice sounded like them.
And they're cloning the numbers. So
Yeah.
basically, for example, I had a case, might have been March of this year. I said maybe some of this. I'm not sure if I said it on your show earlier, in one of the previous shows. But I said I see at some point somebody using that voice and talking to their mother or somebody or uncle and thinking that's them. And so what happened in this case? The customer told me, "Well, hey, I sent money that I thought to my son. The number that popped up on my phone was my son's number, and it sounded like him. So I sent him the money. Later on, she said, I want to call to see if he got the money. He had no clue what she was talking about.
Right. Right.
And now, and what I'm assuming, my assumption is how it's been done. She was the target all along, but now what they probably have done had AI to go through the internet and find all the connections that's for who your relatives are, and that type of thing. And they probably called that person, recorded the voice, had AI to change to say whatever they want to say, and then called the person pretending to be their son. You know, so the
Yeah.
thing of it is, this stuff now, when you look back 5 or 10 years ago, you say, "Oh, that's not possible." Now you got to change your way of thinking. You got to take that off the table as for what you think is not possible. I had a customer 3 weeks ago got that she thought that she was talking to Comcast, and she said it seemed like everything was official and what have you. So they said they had some type of cyber attack, cyber problem or something. So they had to go ahead and have her to do something on her modem. So, but they needed her to download an app to her phone. So she did that, followed the instructions, and they also had her to go to the modem to cut the modem off and on, basically unplug it. But at the same time, they know that she couldn't do two things at the same time. She couldn't watch her phone because they asked her to put it on speaker while she do it. So she obviously had to put the phone down on speaker while at the same time taking her money, as they had her uh, fooling with the modem pretty much. But they ripped $3,200 out of her account. You
Wow.
know,
That sound like that movie B.
yeah,
What
yeah. And the thing of it is this: understand, depending on how that money is taken, um, you will not get it back. And the thing is, there's a lot of remote programs out there that are legitimate programs. These guys now, I done ran into quite a few cases in the last year. They're using remote programs, and I don't know how customers are getting it on their unit. They don't even know how, but they put it on their unit and has it set up as unattended. And what that is that when you set a remote program up as unattended, that means as soon as you cut that computer on, that person automatically sees everything you're doing. And if they put a keylogger in, they know exactly what you're typing in. Because think about it. I had programs I put in for companies that behind the scenes it sends out emails for, if I set it for every 5 seconds, it takes a snapshot every 5 seconds on every place you go, and everything you type in is sent to whoever it is that I set it up for, meaning the company owner. So they basically, I always tell people, do not check your bank accounts or what have you on the company's computer, because if that is set up, because they got the right to look at it and see what you're doing, because you're working for them. They want to make sure you're doing what you're supposed to do, but they might not have the most honest person in the IT department or whoever that information is going to. They might be tempted to log into your account. And once again, if they do that, um, and they do it from that same PC that you done set up and been doing it all that time, the bank is not going to give you money back because it shows that you've been doing it. you know so just
Right.
like when you get a new computer, you can't log into your bank account right away. You have to prove who you are because the IP address is different. So you had to go through this whole thing. Even if you use another browser, it's going to ask you, had to go through this whole setup thing, in a sense, just to prove who you are. So those things that this remote program I've been seeing lately, it's a legitimate program. So no virus program is going to pick it up because it's legit. And
Hey,
it's a
Jim, a quick question. Chat Cat put this in the chat. He said, basically, do you think some smartphones can tell whether or not it's an AI call or a human call?
I, not right now. I think they're working on it though. They working
Oh,
on it. They're working on that part because they're going to have to. That's something they got. That's something they got to do. I know something they're working on right now.
right.
But I will tell you to go to show you how much has changed. If you wind back a year ago, the videos and voices, you can tell when their lips doesn't match up with the words. You know what I mean? Now some of this you can't even tell now. You know, you can't even really tell if it's a real human being or a real video from a human being or an AI made.
Right.
It's didn't advance that much now. So it's and when you think about face recognition, that's going to be the next thing. I think somebody's going to do something stupid to start hacking into stuff.
Yeah.
Um, we gotten to a point where, unfortunately, we gotten too comfortable with this technology that we have now. And I go back to years ago when we had this conversation, where I never forget when I came to Atlanta. I was working for this company, and the owner and I, around the coffee pot, we used to talk every morning just to chit chat. And I was just getting into computers at that time. And I said, well, it's something that you maybe need to think about.
All right, Jack.
Yeah. And so he wound up having 6 people in his accounting department. And I told him, he wound up getting one computer and wound up getting a second one. And before you know it, those 6 people was down to 2, you know? So to go to show you how much computers at that time changed. Now we're talking about AI. Same
Right.
thing. It's cleared our whole departments now, when you think about it.
Well,
So what about the phone calls that you get like five, 6 on a day, 5, 10? And then the phone calls of scammers always calling about loans and crap like that. How
Well,
can
you
you
got
really
now your cell phone company. I know T-Mobile has features where, and also on your phone you can set it up for scam calls and what have you. If you do that, that's helpful because that it pops up and actually tell you that it's a
can it
scam.
just block them?
Yeah, you can block them. That
Yeah.
somewhat works, but also T-Mobile. I just looked at it. Probably got a few days ago. They have a little feature inside there. Once you log into your account, you can set that same thing up where that you can block it and all that good stuff. So a lot
Yeah.
of people
So,
probably
so
don't
what
even know.
I'm saying is there a way you can set the phone up that soon as it recognizes a scam call, it can automatic just disconnect, or you got to personally do it?
No, it's gonna wind up doing is send it to voicemail most likely.
I don't want their voicemails. I be having like 30 voicemails, man. I be like, man, the same
Yeah,
and it's AI because they say the same exact thing.
yeah. Most of these recordings though, they hang up on it, but most of them they hang up on their own though. A lot of them though. You
Right.
know what I
Yeah.
mean? So a lot of them don't leave a voicemail at all. You got a few that do, but majority of the ones I've seen over the last 6 months or so, they just hang up with themselves. And I admit it drives you nuts when you're getting 5 or 6 a day. You know what I mean? And what's even crazier though, I had a situation probably about 2 weeks ago. I was on the internet looking for something, and I got to the website, looked at it, didn't log in or nothing, didn't put no email address, put no information in. All of a sudden, I got an email pop up for the same information I just looked at. And then all of a
Yeah.
sudden, that same day, probably 30 minutes later, I got a phone call about the same doggone thing. Keep in mind, I didn't put no information in at all.
Yeah.
And then I realized that part of this, too, a lot of people don't know, that behind the scenes with Google and a lot of other companies, as for your email address, they sell a lot of information off. You know what I mean? So you got to watch it, because some of these email addresses are really a headache as for the information that it basically puts out there. You know what I mean? So
I,
none of this stuff is safe to a point.
I know sometimes I can sit there and talk to my wife on the phone or around our phone, and after we talk about a certain thing, it pops up on the phone. It
I
just,
wouldn't be surprised.
yeah, it just the commercials. When I'm looking at YouTube, that same thing is popping up all of a sudden, like it's just starting to circulate more.
Yeah,
Like we
it's
just
all
talked,
connected to a
it's
point.
popping up.
Yeah. Yeah, see now the thing you probably want to do, at least start with the computer part of it. It just basically, you can download a program like CCleaner, just clean your browser up. And or either
Mhm.
go into your settings in your browser and just make sure you clean it up, make sure all that stuff is like your history and all that stuff, it just clears it out. Or either go into the dark mode on the browser. It's not gonna allow you to save bookmarks or what have you. But I call it the stealth mode. Most of the browsers, I think, that's what they call it these days. And that's probably the safest way, at least on the computer that's searching, going to just use the stealth mode to do that. Or most people call it, like some browser got it as incognito, I think is what they call it. So if you do browse it,
Right.
if you go and browse it that way, at least you don't have to worry about any traces in that sense. So it's kind of like works out pretty well. And then two, the other thing is too, and a lot of people probably have routers. I don't know, how old a lot of people routers are, but that's important too. I got a message from Netgear 2 weeks ago
Yeah.
telling me that my Netgear router basically they're no longer going to do any updates. Right around
I
the
got
same.
the same message.
Yep. So that means that the same thing with Windows. If it's a case where they're no longer going to put updated software to keep you secure, you need to buy you another router.
That's what they
That
told me to do.
yeah, that doesn't affect people that got AT&T or Comcast just a modem and not a router attached. But
Yeah.
for anybody that got a extender or a router, that's something you want to look at. But the problem with also is though, a lot of people set that stuff up and don't set an email in there for it. And then, well, let me back up. They set an email in there for it. They probably don't pay no attention to the email they get from the company that owns that router, best way to say it, or the maker of the router. So this day and time, you need to go ahead and do that because the reality is this: if you're, it's so important to do that because now some of these routers, like the one I bought, I can't even think of the name of it at the moment, but anyway, the coolest thing about it, it has a VPN built in and a virus program built into it. And the virus program probably don't mean much or nothing. I'm not too much, that's probably garbage to a point. But the VPN, in other sense, that's truly helpful because as long as my IP address is blocked and the outside world sees something else, that's really a great thing. And I have always said, I think a VPN is more valuable than a virus program, in my personal opinion, because at least that way, once the world sees something totally different than what your VPN, I mean, what your IP address really is. So it really is really helpful in that sense. And
Sherry had asked, what was that sneak? What? I don't.
sneak,
Did you
sneak what?
say anything about it? Something sneak?
I have no clue what it is.
Oh, okay. I don't know. We had 8:36. We normally stop this show around 8:30. Jim, as usual, you got a lot of info to put out. So, and it seemed like quite a few people was engaged with what you had to say. So, what we're gonna try to do is reschedule you to come back when
Okay.
you're available
Okay.
and kind of finish it up. So,
When you retire, Jim.
Soon.
oh, the app. She's talking about the app to clean your computer.
Oh, you're talking about C Cleaner. C Cleaner is a pretty good one. Wise Care is another one. But C Cleaner is basically more for the browser. It does a great job. It's been within the top five of programs for the last 15, 18 years. So it works extremely well.
Is
But
it? Is
also,
it? What's the cost on it?
oh, it's free. You can get the free
It's
one. Now you
free.
can pay for the. Now the one thing with any program, including it, do not use the driver update. A lot of these programs have a section where you can update your drivers for your computer. Do not use it because occasionally something screws. A lot of these, for whatever reason, download the wrong driver for the wrong computer, and you could totally screw it up. I mean, like for your video or anything else. So just use the cleaning part of it. The driver part of as for updating drivers, leave that alone. If you need to update your drivers for your computer, go to the maker of that computer. If your computer is a Lenovo, go to their website. If the case is a Dell, go to their website. So my advice is for third party programs to update your drivers. I don't think it's a good idea. I've seen so many problems with those. But if you will need your, you want to check to make sure your drivers are updated, just go to the maker of the computer. Most likely they got drivers there for your computer, and depends on how old it is. Usually, right after you buy it, they got it up on their website most of the time to try to fix problems, because the difference between Mac and everything else, Windows, Mac make the software and the hardware. That's the reason why you don't have as many problems. Same thing with Chrome books, in a sense. Even though you might see a HP symbol or a Dell or what have you, but the whole blueprint is a whole thing with Google in that sense. So, in my opinion, those two products work extremely well in reference to not having the problems you see with Windows. So, yeah, but CCleaner is the program.
So what would be the it's called C Cleaner?
Yeah, CCleaner. Yep, CCleaner. Yep, it works pretty good. It does a great job as for cleaning out your browser and what have you. So yeah, and I've been using it now, guys. It's 2025. We're going all the way back to, I think, 2010, 2012. And you don't have to pay for it. If you want to, that's fine. But my routine is usually with programs of that sort. I install it, clean my unit, uninstall it. I don't leave it up because it's going to give you some pop-ups, because it is free software. So it's going to give you pop-ups, trying to force you to buy stuff and what have you. So I will just keep it in my download folder. If I need to install it, I just go ahead and install it. And once I finish with it, I just uninstall it.
All right. Well, let's move on to doing the giveaways, and then we're gonna close out this particular show. Definitely a lot of good information, and every time you come, Jim, you bring it. So we definitely need to get you back on. I don't know if you'll be available before Christmas or right after. We'll probably look at something right after the New Year or something like that.
That'll work, man. I appreciate it. Thank you for having me on the show, of course. I got
Yeah,
to work
man,
out.
definitely, bro. You I think you educating all of us when it comes to information technology, especially with this AI stuff, because there's a lot of uncertainties that's going on with it, and that's kind of stuff we need. We need an expert in the room to keep us abreast with what's going on. Most of us are like focused in on the reselling side of the house, and we pay
Yeah.
see what's going on with a little AI news here and there, but that's your field. So and we appreciate it, man.
And it affects us as well.
Hey,
Yeah,
before I forget,
yeah,
y'all go through your Facebook and Twitter pages. I'm telling you, that's one of the things that, once again, really take the time out to look at what you got posted.
right, right. All right,
Absolutely.
so everybody, if you're interested in this item, this is the Thor: Love and Thunder, Mighty Thor. This is the I don't know what's her name. She's a female uh, character, and it's a Build-A-Figure. Um, if you're interested in this, go ahead and drop your number from 1 to 20. 1 to 20. I only put it number in one time. And I'm gonna drop the X's. People been dropping the numbers, so I'm gonna drop the X's and close this one out.
You see, Jennifer Hayes said her computer won't update to Windows 11.
Well, she can still do the enrollment, like I was saying earlier. So yeah, she just need to make sure go to settings, go to Windows Update, make sure all her updates is done, and then there's a little section down that says enroll. Just click on it and just follow the prompts.
And then follow the prompt. I wrote that down
Yeah.
when you were speaking on it. All right, let me drop these X's.
Yeah, just come back and rewatch the video over and over until you get it right.
All right.
That's
So
the
here's
way it
the,
is.
and the good thing is he said it another time that's towards the
Yeah.
end of the video, so you can. This is the number for that particular figure.
10.
Number 10. Who got it?
Uh-oh. It coming here.
You
For the
won?
girl.
Oh,
No, my wife.
okay. 10, you won. All right. Cool. Congratulations, Tanya. This is coming your way. if you're gonna be at the Whatnot on Sunday, I might well just hold on to this and just drop
Yeah,
it
you
in
might,
your
you
box.
might well just hold on to that.
Drop it in your box. All right. So the number was 10. Next up is going to be the Squishmallow 10-inch. This is a Harry Potter. See the little symbol right there with tags. And like I mentioned earlier, this type of stuff that I'm going to have for the Whatnot sale is going to be new with tags. I got the 10-inch ones. I got the 12, I think, and the 16 and 20. I got all sizes. So they are all new. I'm gonna do a portion of the show with those. And then I'm gonna do a portion of the show with Funko Pops. I got a lot of Funko Pops I'm gonna run. Um, and I got a lot of action figures I'm gonna run and some dolls. So it's gonna be a lot. I'm gonna try to do some good stuff for this last show. So it's gonna be definitely reseller friendly items that you can come and get it for a cheap price and be able to resell it on whatever platform that you sell on. So come check me out Sunday at 12:30. Miss Buffalo is going to be the presenter. That's pretty much she run that show. I'm just the guy in the background working. Um, so yeah, so go ahead and drop your number from 1 to 20 for this item right here. 1 to 20. And I think I have 4 different versions of this particular Harry Potter one. I think I got the Lion and 2 other different figures that came out with it. It was four different figures that came out with this one. And when I ship it, it will be in a bag. So drop your numbers. Oh yeah, Jennifer, you're right. Bring some friends. They won't regret it. Tell you that because it's a lot of people that I don't know that are repeat buyers, and they just keep coming back because we got great deals. Let's see. All right, I'm dropping the X's now.
And just in
Yep.
time, man. I hit
Yeah,
it
Miss
just in time.
Buffalo be reeling them in. They don't want me up there. I come run everybody away. Let's see. All right, I just dropped the X's, y'all. So here's the number 7.
7.
Who got it?
Marie, she
Marie?
got 6.
All
Yep.
right. Nobody got 7?
Nope.
All right, Marie. I'm going to bag this up, and this be coming your way. Hopefully I can get it out by Tuesday.
Congratulations. You might well hold that the next week because her Justin might win again.
So if it don't be Marie, it's gonna be Justin, huh?
Yeah, stack it all up.
Yeah.
You know.
I might well just put them a box together for the whole month and just ship it out at one time. But yeah, congratulations.
Congratulations.
Yeah. So show and tell. I'm gonna make this real quick. So I know y'all gotta go. Some people got to get up, go to work tomorrow. So on my purchase yesterday, and I'm not gonna speak prices, but I got this pretty nice price on it. Picked this up from Walmart. Most people know what this is. This is the Ferrari version for the Xbox. See Xbox right there. It's the Ferrari version. I got 2 of those. And I got the PlayStation version as well. So I didn't drop those in the BOLO because I know if I did drop them in the BOLO, you probably could find them at your Walmart, but they won't be for the price I paid for them. So it's been, it'll probably been a little tab too high, even though you probably still could have made good money for it. But, I just felt like that wouldn't have been a good item to drop into the BOLO because the BOLO is to, put stuff in there for a reasonable low price where you can make 2-3 times your money. This right here, for what I paid for it, I can make 2-3 times my money, but it wouldn't have been the same for me dropping it in the bolo for y'all. So that's why I didn't put it in there.
I ain't get the bolo. I ain't,
This ain't a polo, bro. It ain't a bolo, man.
I don't mind spending $2.
Hey, bro. I mean, it may still be, I can send it to you still. It may be at your spot, because I think the cheapest I seen it when I spotted it was $76.
Oh, okay.
They sell for about 150, 170 somewhere around there. So you still could have made a decent profit if you wanted to, spend that kind of money. But once I seen it, with the special deal I got at Walmart, so it was able to come down a lot.
Jennifer said it was a solo bolo.
Jennifer. Hey man, I just felt like it would have been counterproductive to put that in the bolo. But I mean, people want to shoot their shot. I put it in there. There's no problem. I mean, like I said, you got to be willing to tell people what you do. As a reseller, you never know who can help you.
Yeah.
And people only gonna tell you no for so long. Some of these stores I go into, they tell me no, but that don't mean I stop going and keep asking. It's just nature of the beast. All right, I think we pretty much Jennifer dropping a few links in here. People, okay, Jennifer just clowning on me right now. Jennifer Hayes is my mod for the Whatnot show. Pretty much, she kind of run it, and my son, he kind of dibble and dabble in that for his checking the mod, some of the questions, and also posting that, getting the auction started for the show. So if you all, like I said, if you want to come out and get some of the deals, I mean, it's your choice. I have a lot of stuff that I'm going to run. We only going to do it from 12:30 to 4:30. So, once we run what we run, that's pretty much it for the year. I'm going to have some stuff behind Miss Buffalo. All that stuff is going to be for sale. You just got to make a decent offer. So if you see anything behind her and you want it, just make a decent offer and we'll run it. Everything gonna be for sale. That you can see, and the things that we're gonna basically present for that particular show. I'm gonna have video games, Funko Pops, action figures, plush items, some games, dolls. I may pull a few of my Barbies holiday versions. The Funkos, I'm gonna pull some of my good Funkos as well and put those in the mix. And that's pretty much it. That's pretty much the gist of what I'm going to run for that show. All this stuff, you can take it and resell it, or you can gift it for Christmas. Think I'm going to throw in a couple big fire trucks that I haven't ran before, and these are the extra large fire trucks. These are not the small ones.
You
I may
like
run a
one?
few of those.
I got one of those. One of them big ones.
No, that ain't the big one.
Oh, it's one bigger than that thing?
Yeah, man. I got 1-2 times that size, bro. And I may throw in a couple of those 4Runner trucks.
Shoot, I need to drive it with my truck to get that.
Huh?
I might have to drive it there with my truck to get that.
Hey, man. Hey, you know you're welcome. But with that being said, I want to give a special thanks to Jim the Tech. As usual, he brings the knowledge. He don't try to gatekeep. He tell us basically what he know, and people that have questions in the chat, which a couple people pose some questions. If he know, he gonna tell you. If he don't know, he gonna let you know he don't know, and that's what I like about him. He don't shoot from the hip. So with that being said, thank you, Jim. Jim, do you have anything you want to plug while we're here, like your channel or your company and all that?
Yeah, computergeeks@georgia.com. If you have any questions, just wind up emailing me, and or either give a phone call. Because a lot of
Right,
times I help people over the phone, so it depends on what it is. I can pretty much help over the phone. So it's all about helping people. So
right.
if I can help over the phone, I do so.
All right. And Jennifer dropped your link here for your site as well. And just because it said Georgia doesn't mean that he can't help you. I mean, he
Yeah,
can remote into your laptop and take care of the issue and remote back out. So if you got any questions or problems with your personal PC, hit him up. That's the link right there. And if, like I said, Jim is the type of person is that he's not going to overcharge you. He's not going to shoot from the hip. So if you're looking for a reasonable price, IT person, that's your guy right there, right in
and
front of you.
I might be able to help you find a new PC on top of that. There's been some good deals in some of these areas as
Right.
well.
Oh yeah. I forgot to mention that he kind
Yeah,
of dibble and dabble in reselling as
yeah.
well. So
Yeah,
you
because
know,
of you, man. You the one. Yeah, yeah, man. Hey, because of you, I bought me a 65-inch for $119, man. It helped a couple other people buy
right,
it that cheap. So yeah,
right,
man. So because of you, because other than that, I would never look. So but
right,
yeah, but
right,
it's a good thing to try to help people, man. Just like
right.
you doing, and that's what it's about, man.
Oh yeah, for sure, man. You help people if you can help them. You
Yep.
know. Miller man, you got anything you want to plug?
Yeah. Everybody, y'all have a good a good week. Um, go follow me on Instagram, the Middleman Picker, my whatnot at the Middleman Picker. Um, I did a show today. I wasn't so enthused, but I'll be back at it, back to my old self. Once the fourth quarter is over with, then I start
Yeah,
being more enthused on
yeah.
it. Go follow me on Instagram. Well, I said Instagram, TikTok. What's that? The Middleman 15. Um, and I think that's it.
All
Everybody
right,
have a good week. See y'all next week. Be safe out here. A lot of craziness is going on. Please protect yourself.
Yep.
right,
Please, if you need to stay home, stay home. But just be aware. There's a lot is going on right now.
right.
So I just hope everybody stay safe. And we'll see y'all next Sunday.
Right.
Are there gonna be a show next Sunday, bro?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh,
Show
okay.
the sale over at 4:30, man. So
Well, everybody, y'all stay tuned because we'll find out in the middle of the week.
no, it's gonna be one. It's gonna be one. It's gonna be one, man. We straight. We already got it set up. That's what we did yesterday. I had a whole crew over there working yesterday, so we got a lot accomplished. The whatnot studio is already set up, so
Uh-oh.
I just got to put more goods, on the shelf for sale. Jennifer said she was looking for a refurbished one laptop, Jim.
Oh, I'm gonna tell you now. This is what I would tell you. There's a difference between refurbished and open box. Every computer in the last year that I either helped someone with or either I bought for myself has been open box. And the reasons why the difference is this. For example, Best Buys, of course, have open box. That means that they thoroughly check it out. So if check them out, if it's a case where a part is missing, like a power cord or what have you, they'll let you know. For a prime example of that, I bought a laptop for $90, and all it was is missing the power cord. The laptop original price of $439. I bought every computer that I helped with everybody, people with, and also myself in the last 8 months. There's not one computer I've spent more than $136 for.
So,
Every
Oh, please.
TV, every TV that's 55-inch and 65-inch. Not one TV I paid no more, or either custom paid no more than $152.
so basically, Jennifer need to reach out to you.
Is
Yeah,
that
because I mean that's something I check all the time.
Right.
And I will tell you, it is a great thing because honestly, you get a computer that's normally 400 some odd dollars. And I tell you one thing, the reasons why also too, as for the refurbished thing. Now, Best Buys also and a lot of other companies have refurbished, but understand they don't check that stuff out. I had a case where I bought 10. Well, I bought I ordered a refurbished computer. Believe it or not, it was an i9 processor. The computer normally at $500+. Obviously, the person that shipped it out noticed they sent me the wrong thing for the wrong price because I got it for PostApp, got it for $129 with tax. But I guess when it got to when it got to FedEx to have it delivered, he stopped and had the unit sent back to him. So
Yeah.
think about that. Yeah.
Yeah.
So and then plus you think of it this way: if it's not thoroughly checked out, you don't know what you're getting. Prime example: my daughter bought a refurbished computer from Walmart. She gives me a call and say, "Well, something's not right with this computer because it's not working." And I said, "Well," she's telling me all the details. I said, "Do me a favor, open the computer up." So she got a Phillips screwdriver, open it up, and I say, "Send me a snapshot of what you see inside." Come to find out, the computer didn't even have a hard drive. Didn't even I said like didn't even have a hard drive. Can you believe that?
Wow.
That's
Wow.
nuts. But that's the difference between refurbished and open box. And there are some
Right.
places out there might be refurbished okay, but personally, if they ain't thoroughly checked it out, I personally don't do it. But I'm not saying for everybody else not to do it because there are some places like Micro Center around this area do refurbish, and they've been pretty good for last quite a few years. So, but there's some reputable places that do sell refurbished unit at a good price.
Right.
So I got a question. Is it online or you got to go on the Best Buy to get the open
Always
box?
the online open box is best. You might have to drive to it might not be the Best Buys near you. For example, Mall of Georgia is about 60 miles from me, but here it is. I got a TV for $119, a 65-inch. That's over $500, so it's worth the drive. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
The same
yeah.
thing with that laptop. I spent $90 for. It's just missing a power cord. I hit the power to make sure it works, and it works. And I just ordered the power cord from Amazon. So, and I done had customers bought TVs. Like I said, the remote's missing. Went on Amazon, bought it for under $20. So why return a TV that's $300 or $400 because of a remote?
Right.
You
Hey,
know?
let's make this real quick, man. Close out. So Cheryl said her laptop died yesterday, and Jennifer is saying that they are saying that the laptop is Amazon trusted.
Okay.
So does
Yeah,
that
yeah,
mean anything that it's saying Amazon trusted seller?
yeah. That means that the seller basically sell good products, and they never really have a problem with them.
Oh, okay.
Now if the laptop's not working, if it's, I had to ask her a question, so she had to call me,
Yeah.
which is 404-295-2020, which is phone number
You
because
got that, Cheryl? The phone
it could be
number,
something,
reach out.
yeah, it could be something simple. Because I can tell her to try this: unplug the computer, hold the button down for 60 seconds, plug it back up, and hit the power button. That if it's not coming on at all, because I will tell you about 75% of all calls I get of that nature, that's all it is. And then if you take it
Okay.
to
That was
someone,
for Cheryl, right?
yeah, because not every technician is honest. So, for example, you take that computer into a shop, the technician do the same thing. He's going to charge you $80 to $100, and he ain't done nothing.
Right. Right. All right, Jim. Uh,
Yeah.
Thank you for your free consultation.
Yeah.
Hey, yeah, but man, we definitely we're gonna have you back on here. What I'll do next time is I pretty much advertise a couple weeks out so people can start getting their questions together. And
Gotcha,
that way when you come, we'll just do a question and answer type
gotcha.
session once you pretty much give us all the info we need to know about the what's going on with AI. Also, for everyone, keep Greg Resale Daddy in your prayers. Right now, he's going through treatment, and I think he got a surgery scheduled. So, if y'all can pray for him. He also dropped his Cash App in the show last week. If you feel in your heart to give, just go back to that show and you should see it highlighted on the screen. And if you want to give, that's a good way to give. But with that being said, we thank you all for coming out. The support, defend the hustle. Buffalo Picker, D Middleman, Jim the Tech. As always, we're glad to have you, man. You bring a lot of information here. Hopefully,
Thank you
my
for having me, sir.
editor can take this show and break it down into 10 clips, just you talking. And also Glass City. Glass City right now, the reason he hadn't been on the show is he's going through a treatment himself, taking care of some medical issues that he got going on. So pray for him as well. And hopefully we'll have him back here in a couple weeks. So with that being said, thank you all. Buffalo Picker, defend the hustle. See you all next week.
Good night, everyone.
Good night.